Howdy, everybody. This is another episode of The Collector's Edge. I'm Michael.
And I'm Brandon. Hey, guys.
So, this is going to be a part two. For anybody that did not watch the first one, just to kind of like get you up to speed, we are doing a set of three different videos. This is basically like one of those like things that a bunch of YouTubers do where it's like the top knives we had of 2025. And so just to kind of like recap things, we are basing the criteria on it did not have to come out in 2025. It did not have to be a new model or anything like that, but we had to have gotten it in 2025. We will prioritize if something was an actual model that was first done in 2025, but the important thing is just that we got it in 2025. So anyway,
Nice.
that is what the video is. The like I said, this is part two. The first one we did, we decided to break into three different bracket amounts in terms of how much they cost. The first one was up to $500. This one is going to be $501 to $1,500. So pretty decent gap. Actually makes it to where, at least for me, made the list kind of hard. What
Yes.
about for you, bud?
Oh, yeah. This is pretty much where my collection starts to live, and definitely made the choices much harder than the last one for me.
Agreed. Yeah, this one was a rough one. But okay, so before we get started on that, what is in your pocket?
Yes. So for me today, it's going to be the TRM Neutron 2 in titanium. Similar to the Atom you were carrying yesterday, this guy's got the lizard skin milling on the scales there. It's a very thin knife, both the scales and the blade, so it makes for a great EDC. This guy is in 20 CV, if you can see that. And again, just makes for a great overall carry. And love this little guy. How about yourself, Michael? What are you carrying?
I've got this guy right here. This is a AD2, or some people refer to, or the full name is Attention to Detail. And pardon me, this one in particular, thing that really attracted me to this one is and I'm normally not one that like wants like pictures on my knives, but these are based on old tattoo flash. Tattoos have been a part of my life as long as knives, if not maybe even longer. So these are actually like some American traditional flash. A lot of it is either Sailor Jerry inspired, or a couple of the pieces are actually from him, kind of a legendary tattooer in these circles. But so I really dug that, and the actual knife itself is really great. It's pretty damn comfortable in the hand, and yeah, just kind of a good workhorse of a knife. Not the biggest knife by any means, but I like it a lot though. And I got a chance to talk to the owner about it, and why he decided to do it and stuff like that. But yeah, so anyway, that's what's in my pocket today.
Yeah, beautiful knife. I like the grind on that one.
Thank you. Yeah, I just you. Well, how about since I started talking in the video, how about if you give me your first pick?
Sure. I think before I get into my top five, I do actually have I guess I'll call it an honorable mention, one that I
Mm.
wanted to mention because I love it so.
I like it a lot.
But didn't quite make the list. So that's going to be the Hinder XM18 skinny ripple pattern. So not only does it have it on the show side ripple, but on the lock side ripple. This guy was actually picked up by a buddy of mine. If you happen to be watching this, Hunter, you're the man for grabbing this. And as I mentioned, it is the skinny variant. It has the slicer grind. And in this one, it's the hollow slicer. But to be honest, the difference between the hollow and the non hollow in the Hinder slicer is next to nothing. But I still enjoy it just the same. So I wanted to mention this guy. Got this earlier this year. So wanted to mention that, and then I guess getting into the list in no particular order, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the Hawk Talon. This guy's in titanium. You can tell it's official by the emblem kind of engraved into the scales there. So I really enjoy this guy. Very fidgetable, and the locking mechanism, the sounds, everything about it is great. Of course, all titanium, and kind of my config that I generally go for. All plain Jane, and I kind of love that about this guy. Not to mention the grip clip, which is about as good as it gets as far as pocket clips. No chance of messing up your pocket. and has pretty good retention for what it is. So really like this guy. So that's coming up as number one on my list. Over to you.
I can't remember. Did the Talon was it technically released in 2024 or was that a 2025?
So this guy, the titanium version was released in 2025, but yeah, you're right. The overall talent itself, I believe, was released in 2024. But
But the titanium was 2025, right?
that's right.
I mean, the way I'm looking at it, and this actually kind of leads me into my first pick, um, kind of similar circumstances. So it, in terms of what qualifies as 2025, I would say that that actually qualifies because it's, I mean, yeah, it's not a different model, but it's significant enough in my opinion. And like I said, that leads me into my first pick. My first pick is this little guy right here. This is a Skiff Asylum. Skiff Asylum did come out in 2024, late 2024, but the first batch only had the Stonewash blade. And this one is in classic Skiff style. This one is the his hand rub satin. So I held off till he did a batch of the hand rub satin. I figured that that's part of the reason why I fell in love with these knives. Nothing against the Stonewash, especially if you want to use it. It might be more preferable to a lot of people. But the first batch of the hand rubbed was 2025, so I personally think this one counts as a 2025 knife. I love the hell out of this. If you're for those that are familiar with skiffs, it's basically a smaller drifter with a bit more of an interesting, at least interesting in my opinion, a bit more of an interesting milling pattern. I also really like the pivot collars they did on these, and I'm not necessarily always a guy that's like really super into pivot collars, but they on skiffs they mean a lot to me. I really kind of think they make them special, and I tend to be a big fan. So that would be my number one.
Yeah, I love that knife and in that configuration as well. Hell of a pick.
Thank you.
All right. So I guess getting into number two on the list, and this is actually one that we've already reviewed on the channel, the Holt Outlaw. And obviously, one of the reasons I like this guy is because I did get to build it to almost my configurations. You know, the milling pattern I wanted, the blade finish I wanted, if I wanted the collars or not. And again, this is kind of in my spec, pretty much plain Jane, but a little bit of Zerk there never hurt anybody. And I do love Zerk. And so getting this in my config and being the great knife that it is. I will say this guy was coming in at 1100, I believe it was, and I'm not sure I mentioned it on the Talon, but this guy, I believe, was around that same number for the titanium version of the Talon, but definitely in this category. So that's my number two.
The Holt did that was 2025, right? Or did you already mention that?
Thank you for that. Yeah, this one I believe was released in Blade Show, if I'm not mistaken, this year.
I believe so too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they had
I think it
some
was.
auctions there, and yeah, sold some, and I think we talked about that in the review. So if you want more
Yeah.
details, maybe go check out that video.
I like that plug. Oh, and speaking of, let's plug our shit some more. So please like and
Oh
subscribe.
yeah.
So my next pick, and kind of running with the same theme that you just did, bud, because this is another one that we have actually reviewed. This is the CKF Evo, CKF being Custom Knife Factory, and this is the Evo 1.1, which is a updated version of the first Evo, the which is not technically a one, but it's just the evolution. I've got a little piece of lint on there. It's driving me crazy. Anyway, anyway, we'll pretend that's not there. But yeah. So like I said, I have this has already been reviewed on this channel. Um, if you didn't watch that video, one thing to know is that I love Evos. To me, this knife is super aggressive. I adore how aggressive it is. I like how bulky it is. I like the size. The 1.1 is basically the size of a one, which is also basically the size of a three. The three is one of the knives that this go around for me in collecting is one of the ones that like really gave a shot of methamphetamines into my collecting habit. It really kind of like set me off. Anyway, so yeah, and this one does actually qualify in the. It did come out in 2025. So so this one not only did I get in 2025, but everyone got it in 2025. So that's my number two. What's your number three?
Coming in at number three for me, and I kind of cheated in a way with this one, as while I did get it in 2025, I actually had it before then, and I'll explain that here in a second. But the third on my list is going to be the Sharp by Design Custom Tempest. You might notice that this guy is in plain Jane, raw titanium, but just ogling that beautiful milling on this guy, something Sharp by Design and Brian Nadeau are known for, especially on their custom models. This guy is a front flipper, gasp, sporting this hand rub satin blade, just absolutely beautiful in this front flipper configuration. Absolutely love this guy, and am kind of a Sharp by Design fanboy, so had to get this guy on the list. And the way that I mentioned that I kind of cheated with this one is a year or two ago, I actually bought this from a buddy and then ended up selling it back to him. And then shortly thereafter, he sold it back to me. So while I did actually get it in 2025 for the second time, I did have it before that. So kind of cheated, but I'm going to go ahead and add it anyway as my number three pick.
We actually did not tell each other what our picks were.
No, we didn't.
So I'm finding out his picks at the same time you guys are. Well, anyway, but me and Brandon talk all the time. We talk knives all the time, stuff like that. And when he started telling the story and he described it as like, well, I got it in 2025, but I'd already had it. I immediately was like, I know this story. I was like, I immediately was like, yep, I know what's going on here. Anyway, but so back to knives. My number three. So this guy, this has been modified. I'll let you guys know on the front end. Here it is right there. This
Whoa.
is a Kunwu Gigapadre is what they call it. Normally, these scales are Timascus. It's full Timascus front and back. Timascus pocket clip too, and mirror finished DLC blade. Now I left the blade as is, but I DLC'd the whole damn thing.
That thing's ridiculous.
It really is. Like and the only thing I left is the little Timascus pivot collar. I did leave that. I decided to leave that alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a big black shiny knife is what the hell this is. It holds fingerprints like no other,
I bet.
even more than an Evo. It is ridiculous. And if I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this, but like if you well, the blade probably should have been wiped down, but I mean like the mirror on
Yeah.
this is actually ridiculous. Like I would say the mirror on this is I mean it's really, really close to Rockstead level, which to me is like looking at an actual mirror. But yeah, it's and of course because being DLC, like you it's going to be darker. So, but they also have this with a regular mirror polish, and the ones I've seen of those are, I mean, it's like I said, it's really impressive. It's like it is really like Rockstead mirror polish. Um, but yeah, this one is for the Kunu line is definitely like their top dollar stuff. They put out one other knife that they called the Giga Padre, which was the S towel, meaning like sheep's foot towel. Um, that one also breaks into our price range on this one. Normally, most other Kunlus are going to be under the 500 range, but this one is one that is north of 500, and I adore this knife. I love the hell out of this. It's to me the blade is very similar to the Evo, which I like it. Some people, have had the gripes being like, oh, it's too much like a copy and stuff like that. I don't care. I love it. And as for people that have watched our videos, I love front flippers. This is a front flipper,
Gasp.
which to me makes this knife just even better. I love the aggressive blade. Really like the handle. I don't even know if I like this or the Evo handle more. To me, they're both just phenomenal. Of course, this thing is a major fingerprint magnet, which I can live with that because I like the way it looks nonetheless. But yeah. Oh, and this one did come out in 2025. So far I'm 3 for 3
Nice.
on knives that actually came out in 2025.
All right, so getting into number four on my list, and I'm gonna throw this guy on the list because it's so ridiculous and just puts a smile on my face, and that's gonna be the Demco 8020 XL. This
Mm,
thing is
tiny knife.
yeah, just a little guy.
So smooth.
You know, uh, probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, knife in my collection, and it's just such a monster. But it's not unwieldy. It's with that shark lock, and it's real easy to actuate. I love the milling on this guy. I believe these were coming in at around 850 or so. I believe direct, and these came out. I do believe they initially released in 2024, but I think became more widely available in 2025, or sometime around Blade Show this year, if I'm not mistaken. And this guy just being so ridiculously huge just puts a smile on my face, and so that's one reason I'm throwing her on the list and my number four.
Nice. Very nice. All right. So my number four. This is another one that kind of like what I was saying about the Padre or the Giga Padre, where they make a version of this knife that is south of $500, but this one happens to be north. And this right here is the Poikilo, and it's the Komodo Midtech. So it seems like the way Poikilo, which is a newer company, the way they're doing things, they call it mid-tech. It's supposed to be, I guess, like their. I don't think it's technically truly a mid-tech. I think it's just like their fancy model, basically. Um, Yet another front flipper
Gasp,
in the
gasp.
list. Was able to pull that off. More mirror DLC too. So we're definitely looking at a theme here, folks. But this one, like I was saying, they do make a model of this that is less expensive. It's not quite as fancy. It does not have the mirror DLC. I think it's got like a black wash or something like that. It doesn't have the Timascus on the clip. Doesn't have the Timascus backspacer. But I tell you, I love this knife. I do like that you do have the thumb stud too. As much as I love front flippers, I am a big fan also of just multiple openings. But yeah, oh, and this did come out in 2025 too. It is an actual 2025. In fact, I'm not 100% sure, but I think Poi Kilo really kind of came out in 2025 too. So the knife and the company may be new to 2025.
Double points, damn it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just rack it up like Scrabble. Yeah.
So, coming in last but certainly not least on my list is going to be a Skiff Made Blades Accomplice. Surprise, surprise, this guy's in raw titanium, no anno here. I just absolutely love the milling on the Accomplice and how the clip matches the scales here. As Michael mentioned on his Asylum, really love the pivot collars. And this guy sporting a hand rub satin CPM 154 blade. I have had and have other accomplices in the collection, but this guy I got in 2025 to get a plain Jane model in the collection, and just absolutely love this guy. So, being a Skiff Made Blade fanboy, I had no choice but to add this into my top five for the 501 to 1500 category.
All right, so my number five. So this is the Les Bar Slim. The Slim, it does predate 2025. I got this one in 2025, but the caveat as to where this one should still qualify beyond the fact that I got it in 2025, this one is done in Magna Cut, and have only done two in Magna Cut, and this is one of them, and both of them were done in 2025. So, not a huge difference from their normal ones, but I'm going to call it enough to where I feel like it is a 2025 release. I'm not sure what year they actually started the Slim. I think it maybe 2023 3, if I'm not mistaken. But I love the hell of this knife. If you're interested in this, please go watch the video that we did on it. I think this knife is amazing. I think if you like crazy ass milling, I think that it's really hard to at this price point to find anything better. Um, you can just look at this knife and like all day long and see like little tiny things that you kind of missed before. It's super impressive. It's got that pocket clip that we've talked about in previous videos where like I'm a big sucker for that
Oh yeah.
ball pocket clip because yeah, it just is really easy on your pants, really easy going in, going out. Um, their hand rub, much like Skiff, is incredible. Yeah, I'm just a big fan of this knife, and super happy to have it in the collection. And definitely one of the knives that made 2025 a good year for me. So, Brandon, now it is time. We have to make a pick.
Yeah. Let's
Our
get them laid out
favorite.
on the table.
Yes, we'll lay it just like last video. We'll lay them on the table, and then we can narrow it down.
Yeah, so I guess while you get yours laid out, here's my top five again. I guess quickly going over them, we got the Hawk Talon, we got the Holt Outlaw, we got the Demco 8020 XL, we got the Sharp by Design Tempest non flipper, and of course, we have the Skiff Accomplice. Let's go over to Michael, see if he's got him. Oh, just finishing
We're getting
setting
there.
him
We're
up.
getting
All
there.
right.
Yeah. I actually think I'm going to take off the 1.1, but the main reason why is because, and don't get me wrong, I love this knife, love it a lot, but it really is so similar to the 3.0 that and I've had a 3.0 for forever, so it makes this one there's not enough differences to feel that it should take the spot from one of these guys. So we'll take that off the table.
All right. Oh, man. This is tough right off the bat. Trying to narrow this down, I think what I will take off the table first is maybe because I kind of cheated with it right off the bat. I'm going to take the Sharp by Design Tempest off the table, despite loving this thing so much, being a big old front flipper and loving this knife. So I did kind of cheat. So I got to think of some reason to get him off the table, and I guess that'll be my first elimination.
Well done. Well done. Well, all right. I think from here, yeah, I mean, this selection was going to be rough, rough.
Mm,
Bad. I mean, last time was rough too, but this time I feel like it's only getting worse.
yeah.
All right, next one I'm going to take off the Poi Kilo. I adore this knife, so man, it really just feels bad to take these off the table, does it not? Like I don't know, man,
Yeah,
it's kind of
right.
hard, but I mean, I love that knife, but yeah, I'll take that one off.
No, man, tough choices, tough choices. All right, I regretted my turn coming back. I guess the next one I'm gonna take off the table is gonna have to be the Hold Outlaw. Despite
Mm.
again loving this blade, getting to build it pretty much to my specs, uh, just being kind of maybe just a little bit plainer as far as the overall design. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I gotta think of something, and so I'm gonna take this guy off the list next. Oh, it hurts the pain.
The pain, the pain. All right, so my next one I think might surprise Brandon, and anyone that knows me will probably surprise him too. I'm actually going to remove the Asylum.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I the only reason why, well, part of it will be based on what we're going to have in the next video, but I mean, like once again, I adore this knife, but I do typically go with bigger knives. This one's definitely a little small for what my norm is. And I will say, as far as the skiff models go, I do actually like the accomplice slash culprit slash fugitive style blade rather than the drifter and asylum style blade. I do
right.
prefer the other ones. Not that I don't like this blade shape, but I do prefer the others. So yeah, the unfortunately the skiff is next to go.
That one hurts
Yeah,
even me.
fucking threw a curveball.
Oh, that means it's my turn again. Oh man, down to the top three. This is where it gets hard. My goodness. Man, I do love the Skiff Accomplice. You know, I was hunting one of these guys for quite some time in this configuration. Just finally got one in 2025. You know what I'm gonna actually end up? I'm gonna take off the Demco next. And I guess only because it is just so comically big, and but again, that's one thing about it that puts that smile on my face and makes me just love this thing. But because I don't carry it as much as maybe the two left that are on the table still, I guess that's why I'm gonna remove her. But damn it, I love this knife.
Yeah, I imagine that had to be a pretty rough choice. Just the way well, the way I know you when it comes to knives, that I imagine that was a really rough run
It
for you.
hurts.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. So this one's actually like super hard for me. Um, the what I personally, and I'm not sure how Brandon's doing it, but me personally, the way I am judging the criteria of which one, we're narrowing it down to our favorite of this price range. I'm trying to think of imagining it's not in the collection anymore. Which one am I going to be more bothered by? The fact
Yeah.
that it's on, and that has worked for me in terms of like trying to figure out, which one I want to do. It's actually worked pretty well. I I don't know if this one it works on this one though, because man, I actually think if I just imagine either one of these being gone, um, I, man, I kind of think it would suck equally. Like, you know what? I just remembered one thing that makes it different. I just remembered that when I got this Les bar, they told me that so this is actually the last Les bar they'll ever be produced. So that means that if one of them had to leave the collection, this one left the collection, I would either have to hunt it on the
The
secondary
last Les bar or
or
the last Slim?
oh, sorry, yeah, good clarification there. Last Slim.
Gotcha.
Yeah, technically there is one on Polish custom websites that's still up there, but and it's in a different it's also not in the monochrome, which I really like, but yeah, the oh man, yeah, that would make it to where it'd be very hard, if not impossible, to because yeah, you just don't really see these come up on the secondary at all, right? I don't know if they're all in Europe or why, but like um so based on that alone, and it still is really hard to uh I don't know, but I mean I really love this knife. It's actually, man, that is yeah, I guess I was like when I said that the deal about the Les bar, I was mainly thinking about like, like it would actually be very hard to replace it. Um but oh man, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm gonna remove the Kumo.
Oh, and we have a winner.
We have a winner.
All right, the tough choices, tough choices. Beautiful knife. And that leaves me to make that final decision on my end. You know, it's funny you mentioned how that rule didn't apply as far as what would you feel most bad about if you didn't have it in your collection. And that's kind of how I did the last video, but I'm not sure I can do it on this one, where I think between these two, I would most miss having the Skiff Accomplice. But
Mm.
but I guess overall, I actually do carry this one more, and it is just so dang fidgetable, and the sounds of it. So I'm not sure I can say it
Mm.
because I do love the accomplice. So I'm not sure if that's a surprise to you, but I think I will do it and say that the Hawk Talon is gonna be my number one pick.
Ah, that is That is a curveball. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
curveball.
We both had some curveballs thrown on this one. Wow. Okay. Well, very cool, man. I enjoyed the hell out of making this video. Hope that those who watched it are enjoying it too, and I hope you guys will either come back for our third part where we do the next price range, and if you have not seen the first video, I hope that you guys go watch it. It will be pure excitement and the best part of your day to watch it. So, but also, please. Drop us a comment. Let us know what you think of our picks. Let us know what you got in 2025 that you really liked. Let us know anything you want to say. Like if you think our knives are shit, let us know. If you hate our taste, let us know. But we just want to hear from you guys. And on that note, I will sign off.
Here, before we go, curious what your choice out of my five would be.
I can't believe that I forgot that because yeah, I thought that was kind of a cool little thing we did on the last video. Thank you for reminding me. Well, first let me just ask you this: if you had to guess, what do you think my pick would be?
I've honestly, I would say your pick would probably, well, I know you do have a good amount of accomplices, but I would say you would pick, I'll say the accomplice. What's it going to be?
Yeah, it's the accomplice. Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah,
right. I got
yeah,
it
it's
this
definitely the
time. All
accomplice.
right.
um, yeah, there's no doubt about that. What about you? So with my
Oh, man. I think there's no question. Les Barn, no questions asked there.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. Well, as I mentioned before, please try to find the next video we do. Please go back and watch the first part to this series, and please watch our other shit too.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys have a great night, and I'll sign off for me and Brandon.
Yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next one.
All right. Bye.